This is the Roller Coaster Podcast, and I'm your host, Lucie Q. Life is a wild ride. It has twists and turns. It's scary, exciting, and downright fun. So throw your head back, arms in the air, and come along with me for the ride.
Life is like a roller coaster, baby, baby. I wanna ride.
How are you? You've probably been asked this simple question a few thousand times. The problem is, when a question becomes so common, it tends to carry less meaning. We answer, fine, without thinking. It's an automatic response, just like saying, hello. But are you fine? Really? Let's face it, we're busy, stressed, and we've had an added layer of uncertainty over the past year. There's just so much going on, and we're already short on time. We're not as fine as we like to pretend. If we're honest, we're probably not spending as much time on ourselves as we should be. Most of us are neglecting self-care. Self-care is a relatively new concept for me. I used to think it was indulgent, a rare escape for an hour in a hot bath, curling up in a warm blanket with a book, or maybe a trip to the spa. I used to think that self-care was nice if you had the time type of thing. I had no clue that self-care is critical to our overall health and well-being. If you think self-care isn't a big deal, then consider these statistics. 75% of people are chronically dehydrated. Over 30% of people are overweight. 70% of people feel they don't get enough sleep. 11% have trouble sleeping on a regular basis. 18% of people are anxious, and 264 million people worldwide suffer from depression. No, we're not fine, and it's time we do something about it. Self-care has woven itself into many conversations on this podcast, but we haven't really tackled how to build healthy habits and create a strong self-care foundation. So, why is it so hard to take care of ourselves? The answer could be found in our own compassion. We spend so much time worrying about those we love and making sure we check off everything on our to-do list that we forget a very basic truth. Many of us learn a little too late that we cannot pour from an empty cup. What do I mean? Well, how can you give the best of yourself to those you love if you're tired, stressed, and feeling depleted? Think about these basic signs of what happens when self-care isn't a priority. You're sick more often. You feel overwhelmed. You wake up tired even after a full night's sleep. You find yourself isolating and avoiding social situations. You feel cranky or off. You snap at people. I used to get mad at people just for no good reason. Simple tasks seem to take a lot of effort. You're dragging yourself through the day. Decisions can become really difficult, even the simple ones. I can remember a simple question like, what's for dinner, could totally send me over the edge. You can be worried or anxious and not sure why. You're not eating right, either stress eating or skipping meals. Now, think about what this means when it comes to taking care of others. How the hell are you supposed to take care of anyone or anything else when you feel like that? It doesn't work, does it? You might be doing it, but you're not happy and probably feeling somewhat resentful. Worse, you're not doing what's right for the person that's supposed to matter more than anything. You. The biggest thing that gets in the way of self-care is that nagging feeling that we're not supposed to be spending so much time on ourselves. After all, isn't it pretty self-centered to be worrying about yourself? Nope. Maya Angelou said, as you grow older, you will discover that you have two hands, one for helping yourself, the other for helping others. Another good one from, I don't know who said it, an empty lantern provides no light. Self-care is the fuel that allows your light to shine brightly. Basically, Only when we're truly at our best do we have the ability to give to those around us. Our best work is made possible by a good health and a keen intellect. It's here where we do our best work. There isn't a responsibility in the world which can be met if you don't have health and the ability to do the work. Still struggling with the idea of self-care? Then consider this last very important point. Self-care is what keeps you around to make sure you get stuff done. Without self-care, we suffer. The negative effects may not show up immediately, but they always do. Without proper self-care, it can be argued that you're taking years off your life. But what is self-care? My definition would be taking the time daily to focus on mind, body, and soul. I like to focus on 5 areas of self: physical, mental, emotional, social, and spiritual. We're physical beings with physical needs. We need to eat nourishing food, drink plenty of water, and we need to get moving. Don't discount adding a few simple things to your day because those few things can make a world of difference. Start your day with a big glass of water. Take a walk at lunch, even if it's for 10 minutes. Or just get up and stretch. You can even breathe deeply for just 1 minute. Mental wellness can be a fine balance between mentally stimulating yourself and giving yourself enough time to relax with your thoughts. It encompasses your personal growth, being mindful, and having a good mindset. I love learning new things and focusing on personal growth, but I also enjoy just simply sitting on the porch swing and listening to the birds. It can be easy to overwhelm our minds with constant screen time, but we can balance that by becoming self-aware with journaling and meditation. Just a few minutes of each can go a long way. Understanding our emotional self is critical to having a better sense of compassion, kindness, and love, not just for ourselves, but for all the people in our life. This is where having a gratitude practice can be important. At the same time, it's also healthy to develop a list of things that we will no longer accept in our lives. In everything that we've been through, it can be really easy to forget that having a strong social circle is also important to self-care. We all need to have people to lean on, to support, and to guide us. We need to connect with people because having a strong community is so important to our well-being. Taking a few minutes to chat with a neighbor, text a friend in the morning just to wish them a good day, or enjoy a coffee with a friend. Find meaningful ways to connect with someone. Our beliefs and values can bring us purpose, and they're part of our spiritual self. It doesn't necessarily have to be centered in religion. It's about connecting with your inner self and seeing the intangible side of life. Spending time connecting to things that are greater than ourselves can bring comfort, a sense of peace, and clarity. I start my mornings focusing on self-care, which includes journaling, meditation, and yoga. For me, connecting with myself first thing helps me stay grounded throughout the day. I also try to take advantage of opportunities as they come. Eating lunch outside, a 10-minute walk around the garden, or just quietly sitting, listening to the world around me. This doesn't mean that every day is picture perfect or that I don't have crap to deal with. I'm just like you. I have good days and I have bad days. Having a self-care practice means that I can easily bounce back when I hit a challenge. On the bad days, when bouncing back is a little harder, when I'm tired or frustrated, the best remedy is always a nice long hug. Hugs can reduce stress and brings us feelings of safety, happiness, and connectivity. They turn on the feel-good hormone dopamine, increases serotonin and oxytocin, plus they're just really awesome. If you don't already have a self-care practice, pick one thing, even if it's just for 10 minutes, and commit to doing it every day. Not for 10 days, not for 30 days, not for 60 days. Just commit to doing it daily and build from there. Thank you for joining me today. Remember, your support of the roller coaster is always appreciated. If you can, leave a rating and review. It will help me reach more people. And until next time, I'm sending you my virtually distant hugs. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Roller Coaster Podcast. Want to chat or share your ideas about today's show? Pop me an email at hello@therollercoasterpodcast.com. Don't forget to connect with me on Facebook and Instagram at The Roller Coaster Podcast. Our theme song, Roller Coaster, was performed by The Lucky Setback. Audio editing by the one and only Jeff Quigley of Quigley Creator.
Life is like a roller coaster, baby, baby. I wanna ride, 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 ride. Life is like a roller coaster, baby, baby. I wanna ride, 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 ride. Roller coaster. Ride, ride. Roller coaster.